public relations and marketing.
life and the minds.
Now
I am good.
I started
It's been 2 years already. In March, I have finished.
Many people has mixed up.
Got other jobs or being added or not. It's like basically starting fresh over again.
Teaching you all set goals.
Yes, my name is Jeremy, and this is a Young Media Professional where we have entrepreneurs, but this one is different because we're gonna be interviewing myself and letting all you know a little bit about myself and the business. And I have someone special with me, also a member of the Young Media Professionals, and he'll be taking part. And he actually be the host, so I can let him start from here on. Let us know.
My name is Jason James. Me and Carla have been good friends over the last couple of months. We have formed a close bond, although I've known him for years. Over the last month, the bond has gotten very strong, and it's a friendship that I've grown to appreciate. And today, I just want to interview him because I find that a lot of what he has to say is very valuable, and I find that it should be something that should be out there for everybody to hear. So, we're gonna just jump right into it, Carla.
Yes, sir.
I call him Carla, but for those of you who don't know that's his past life. He's not the Carla. His Jeremy. That's how we know when we were younger, when he was a young group growing up,
Yes, sir.
in Sucker Garden. And just to give him that respect for everybody to know, for those who was waiting to dance battle him, that life is over. He's now on to entrepreneurship. I know we have some people in the room who still looking to battle him, but those days are over. And we're just gonna start right with the interview, and asking him some questions about what he does, why he does it. We're just gonna start off with a simple method: who, what, when, where, and why. Just something very simple. And this is my first question to Jeremy. Sorry, who is Jeremy? When you really think about what you would hope to accomplish in the future, and also probably some of the things in the past that have made you who you are today. What would you like, the public to know not only about young media, young media professionals, but also, who is Jeremy?
Yeah. So my name is Jeremy, and from St. Martin, 26 of age. I'm entrepreneur, motivational speaker, and investor. And I basically, it was a goal for me to show other people that it was possible to make it from wherever you come from. And it's all about like the three keys, that I always mention today, is mindset, self-discipline, and commitment. And it was just things that I had to read about and go through myself, and I just realized there was a lot more to the world that I didn't know. So the more I started to research, I just realized that I had to do a lot more work. And it wasn't just about my talents, because I had a talent with dancing. It was to master whatever I had vision at the time. And that was the vision to make a business where I could help other people grow to that extent.
Okay. Sounds very good. It is always easy to say these things, about ourselves, that we want to better ourselves, we want to help our community and stuff like that. But then, that leads me to the next question. Then what really motivates you? What really motivated you to say that, I want to help my community, I want to, to have this drive inside of me to do better, to be better, to be an example for other people, who are around me. What was real drive, you find out who you are now, and that's all good. But then what now was, the real drive behind you really pushing yourself forward now and actually putting what you want or what you said into action?
Well, it's because of debt. I got into a lot of debt, and it was just off of carelessness and also not being aware of the world, basically, because I came from a small island, St. Martin, and it's a lot of freedom. And I was also, having a mom and a dad, and also raised me in a type of way of giving me not everything I wanted, but the stuff that I needed. So I didn't have to go work to get money. I could have asked my father still for money, so I could have depended on my parents. But then when I came to Holland, once you're 18, you're a man, you understand? And these bills and stuff like that is a must, You have to have insurance. You have to have this. And if you don't have it on time, they can pile it upon you. So it was just a type of system that I wasn't aware of that I got into, you know. So it was, I either going to learn the system or like get drowned in it. So I felt like if I want to make it bigger than I vision my life to be, I have to understand the world. I have to understand the system so I could take advantage of the advantages they have for us as people.
Okay. Sounds very powerful.
Mm.
Now, thinking about all of that, thinking about, you know, who you are, you know, what and why you were doing what you were doing it for, to push yourself, you know, to become a better person, and, you know, and to really help those in your community, to build something that, you know, you weren't really seeing in your community, you know, to build something special, you know. What do you think were the things about you that needed to change or develop, or that you needed to probably say, listen, this isn't working, this particular idea of TV that I've grown up with isn't working, and I have to change and do something else? What were some of the things that came about that you said, you know what, I really have to work on this, change this, do this in order to be successful, you know, the way how I am today?
Okay, so I would say patience, like I didn't have patience. I wasn't patient enough. I mean, of course, belief is one of them. We can go into that, but just also having patience and wanting things right now. I wanted to wait. So that was also understanding that I had to read about, you know, what's patience? How can I gain patience within myself? And then it was also commitment, you know, being committed to something, like not saying that I just gonna do this and let me see if it can work out for me. Nah, is I gonna do it until I get it. You know, like that's the type of mindset. Like regardless of what the ups and downs, this is what I want and this is what I can get. And as I say, I had to read about it, and I do see life like that too. Like you vision sometimes what you see already. So you had to see somebody do it in order for you to kind of vision that, and that's how most of my visions like come to pass. So just like watching society, watching the outside world, I just get ideas and make it happen.
Okay, Jeremy, you said a lot of things just a while ago. I heard a lot of different ingredients, different things to make, you know, you be transformed into the person that you are today. You know, we look at your Instagram, you know, and stuff like that. What's going on there? Just real quick, what's the Instagram? Let everybody know what's on. What's it?
J.R_delivery.
Ah, okay. And you know, and you see all different things about who you are, what you are, and different things, you know, on your other Instagram also for YoungMediaProfessional. You know, you're showing us the cars, you're showing us, you know, some of the bling. You know, I don't think you're really bragging, but you know, you're showing what a Martin person doing in an international community can do. You know, so now when you think about all that, the different ingredients who made you who you are today, you know, if I ask you like just the 3 words that you know that you would want the viewer to take into mind and to understand, you know, just 3 words, what would it be? What would those 3 words be?
Yeah, and I felt like those words like can't go without each other because I don't start saying 1 and 2 of them within the show, and one of them is commitment, self-discipline, and patience. Which one was for me was very difficult though was self-discipline, because what about self-discipline is like when you have a job, right, or you go in school, right, you would say, yeah, is you have to wake up, which you're right. But to me, it's not really self yet because it's like you got a teacher, you have a boss. But when you turn an entrepreneur or you start to make plans to do things that not everybody does do to make money, it has a lot to do with you wanting to get up and make another sale, or you wanted to grow your business by marketing. Is a lot more on you. It's things that you have to do, like your taxes as well. Your business, your job will do that automatically for you. But when you're an entrepreneur, you're doing those things yourself. So it's just a lot of self. And it's basically a attitude I had to build. It's like your mother don't have, like growing up, my mother would have to tell me, Jeremy, do this. But now it's self. You understand? So now everything, I don't have to wait till somebody tell me I gotta do this. And that's where it was difficult for me as well that I had to work on. So I didn't have to wait until I was low again to catch up. I don't have to wait. I can, even though I feel good or I got money, I have to want more. I shouldn't wait until I go to the bottom to want straight. So it's all about that balance. Like I also interviewed somebody recently, he talked about balance, and hopefully that will be coming out soon too. But as I mentioned, it's just commitment, patience, and it's just a combination of those three.
Okay. But then would you say that one who's doing something like you're doing, because like right now, we're talking about talking to them people who have come to the realization that maybe a 9 to 5 isn't for them, and they're saying, okay, fine, he gave us these 3 ingredients and stuff like that. But then would you say that they could continue with the same mindset that they were already in, or do their mindset of how they think about certain things in their life would also have to change if you're talking about dedication, commitment? Because especially in the Caribbean, we procrastinate a lot. I think that's one of our major downfalls, But when when I look at your timeline and I see different stuff that you're doing, you're always doing something is always doing. So would you say that it's a particular mindset that you have when it comes to these things and pushing yourself forward?
Well, it is how can I say that? It's like you have to first be open to change, because you can't say this is who I am. Because yes, this is who I am, but today you could be somebody else tomorrow. So it is a choice that we have, and that's the difference between a human and a tree. You put a seed of apples, you can get apples. You can get oranges. But with us today, we could be somebody else tomorrow. So it is knowing that you could change and be willing to change and not say this is who I am as a person. So I had figured out that I could have changed basically. So I could have come from a dancer to an entrepreneur. And I didn't know I could have do things like that. So all of that came from a mental state. So like I just always say, knowledge is power, but without action is nothing. So to you, you probably might see knowledge is power, but to me, knowledge is potential power without action. So,
So in other words, then you have to come to the realization, to the point where Call Boy, the dancer, ended, and where Jeremy, the entrepreneur, began.
Yeah, exactly, because I knew I could have changed to be somebody else. I didn't know I could be somebody else because I thought that's who I was. I thought that was who I am, and that's who I had to become. And I realized that I choose who I want to be. And I realized there's different options out there, and I choose I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And it was something I always wanted to be. It's just that wasn't something I was doing at the time. And I was always confused with my talent and a skill. So it was just, as I say, knowledge, understanding what's the difference between those two. And then, like I mentioned in my own videos, a talent is something you was kind of like born with. And then a skill is something like, you had to practice for. You wasn't good at it, but you had to practice. But regardless of the two, you have to master it, and that's the core difference to humans today. People that master the talent or people that master the skill that they have. That's because life don't, they don't give to average. If you see a lot of people that making money, they ain't average. You see somebody like a baseball, you see LeBron, you see Kevin Durant, that ain't average. Average is not going to get that type of money. So you have to rise your value, and all that, as I say, is a mindset. I had to apply it, and I see it coming manifesting.
Powerful. Now this brings me to my 2 last questions. And the first question might be a little off topic, but I think there's a point to still asking it, because sometimes as people we get confused that like it's not possible to have more than one passion, And my question is the passion for dancing still there?
It's crazy because actually I just I'm working on choreography for a dance video. And that has a lot to do with the exchange of the relationship of me and the guy. But because I want to master the skill of motivational speaking and master entrepreneurial, it was something I had to be more focusing on and put dancing aside. But as I say, dancing is a talent, so I didn't have to practice. So that is why, if I listen to music, I still dancing. So it's for myself. You know, it turned something more for me and not for the people, because back then it was more for the people. You know, but now dancing is more for me. It's just something I enjoy. You know, when I hear music or you know, when I'm in a good mood, I just normal to dance in the house and bust moves. So it's more something for me and not for the people.
Wow, wow. You know, and I really wanted you to convey that answer to the view, because sometimes we have a passion and we feel just because we have to put it aside doesn't mean that we can't do it anymore. Sometimes that passion doesn't necessarily have to bring us money, but it just brings us joy. And I could hear in your voice, you know, that dance still brings you joy, you know.
For
I bet
sure.
you know, you're doing your entrepreneurial thing, you know, you're making money, but you know, bust a move now and you just be happy. You know, and I think that's something good for the viewer to hear. Now, my last question, you know, moving, especially from a small, you know, island, you know, to a more international market, should you say in Holland, you know, and stuff like that, you know, it's not, you know, this time is very short to condense everything into, you know, but what would be one thing, like somebody who's now, you know, just listening to this interview, what would be one thing that you would just want to convey to that listener to let them know, you know, that this entrepreneurial thing can also be for them? You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, for people who are already up there making big money or born into, you know, a rich family. You know, I mean, although you already gave some ideas about that mindset, changing different things and stuff like that, but what would be one thing that you would have them to take away from this interview that they will say, you know, if I'm really thinking about, you know, branching off and, you know, being my own boss, so what would be one thing that you would want them to take away from this interview?
I think I try not to say nothing like cliche, you know, like something like everybody to say, but it has been really true. That's the thing, and that would be like find something that you want to do, you know, and not what nobody want to do, like literally what you want to do inside, because when if somebody else give it to you, then it can be easier for you to get through off when things get difficult. But when you really want something and you could like just set it clear, I tell you it's a lot easier to just block the noise. So if you're not doing things that you want to do, and it can be easy to get through off. You know, that is why too when I at jobs, I don't want to be there, but I offer it for whatever reason. I a lot quicker to get through off from things that I dedicated for. You know, it's like you can't demotivate me. You can't. So when, you know, it's just a lot more difficult because I just block out the noise, and it's because I have clear of what I want, and that's it. Just know what you want, and like I said, like have it clear. Like honestly, like I know guys that tell me straight up like, yo, Carlo, I know this is what I want to do, but when I say, yo, you have it written down, you have it on your phone, you have it on your wall, you have it somewhere that you just see it, like you gotta want it, you know. You gotta risk something, and that's how I see that where I reach, and even though I reach fully there, I risk in because I want something, and in Pacific, it's not like all over. I know Pacific what I want, so just everything is gonna be easier to block out. Yeah, know what you want.
Well, Carla, now Jeremy, the transformation has been made. We have seen it today.
Yes, son. Let's go. Let's go.
I found that this interview, you know, was very eye-opening for me. It was very also encouraging. And, you know, I just want to encourage you, you know, not only as your friend, but, you know, also the person who's interviewing you today to continue doing what you're doing, you know, because as an older head like me, you know, you're very inspiring. You know, I find that you're very motivational. You have a presence about you. And, you know, don't leave nobody change you or tell you anything different. You know, I think you're just being Jeremy. You know,
for sure.
I know what you have inside to shine through. Because I seen it in this interview today, and you know, I hope that those who are watching, somebody's encouraged, somebody, you know, really take up their mind to be an entrepreneur, to do something different, dare to be different. Cliche statement, but I think it's something that's you know, true.
For sure.
You know, so thank you for all what you said today, and you know, hope to do this again in the future.
For sure.
All right.
So this is my Jeremy. This is the end of the podcast show, the interview. As you guys know, be free to subscribe to the show. Subscribe, follow, and keep pushing with us, push the movement, support, because the more you guys support, the more we could give, you know, so keep it posted, connect to everybody that supported, to Island Neon, so the opposite, Neon Island Productions, support, and also can you shout out your businesses and stuff like that?
Yeah, you can check me out on Jpegsrawmedia or Premier Express. You can see that on Instagram or Facebook.
Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks you guys for listening. Keep it posted. Peace.